Friends 2.
All right, this is BleachBANGS Music, and we are sitting in with Jim from Seasons After, the lead guitar player. How's it going, man?
Great, man. How y'all doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to finally get to catch you guys. The last time, what was that, 2 years ago?
You guys were here just a few months ago, and I can't remember what we were. I don't think we were home because we missed that show. But then we caught y'all a few years ago when you played the Hidden Castle down in Norman.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I remember the Hidden Castle.
Really?
Oh, I actually think I do. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what happened to that.
Tragic Kingdom.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's not open anymore.
No offense, not surprised.
Right. So, your album Manifesto's been out for about 4 months now. How's everybody responding to it?
I would say I feel like it's very well received. I feel like it's received very well. Yeah, it seems like people are paying more attention. We seem to get a lot more new fan base coming up quicker that's enjoying the album. We're getting a lot more messages from people we've never talked to in all the time we've been on the road.
People start to sing back to you,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sending us back lyrics and stuff like that. So I think it's being received very well. Actually, a lot of our fans have told us that it's their favorite work of ours to date. So I will take that and run with it.
Hell yeah.
I haven't been able to listen to it yet, and I don't know.
Well, we got to make sure you got a copy before you walk out the door.
We will definitely.
Seasons After has always inspired me just because you guys do everything on your own.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And do you think there's pros and cons to doing it yourself?
For sure. There are pros, and if you're doing this business, I think there are pros and cons no matter how you come into it.
Right.
Some of the bigger points of the pros for being independent are obviously you have control of your own writing, and
you own it.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, you own it. Exactly. You get to do whatever you want with it. That's one of the big pros. Being able to set your own schedules and deciding what money is spent where, things like that are huge as being independent. But the cons of being independent are that there's kind of this bubble out there.
Yeah.
And if you're not in that label bubble or that management bubble or the right bubble of bands, you're not going to get on this festival or this tour just because you're not in that bubble. The other big con I would say of being independent is unless you're independently wealthy as well, it's probably not going to work out as well as you like. You got to grind really hard and hopefully get lucky.
Right.
But at the end of all of it, the only debt you've accrued is what you've allowed yourself to accrue.
Love it, man. I love it. It's inspiring, man. I think a lot more bands ought to just do it their own.
I think a lot more bands are wanting to do it and are trying to do it and reach out and step out and do it themselves nowadays because the tools are more accessible. And I think what a lot of bands should realize is that if they're going to do something independent, most of the things that labels have access to as far as the people they work with, those same people are available to you to, you can spend money for their time as well because that's what it's all about. So if you don't got a radio guy and a publicist and this and that, and you're like, oh, I got to have a label for that. That's not true. You just got to have the money and some way to get in contact with somebody. You can hire them just as quick as anybody else can,
Right.
It's just having that money to do it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true. It gives you probably a little more pride in your product that you put out, too, knowing that
it gives
you don't have to run it through all these upper level managers.
Yes.
Yeah,
and there's so many levels of where that pride would come from. Just that if something does hit, somebody didn't buy it for you, and nobody handed you that song, and you're not paying 10 other guys because they sat in the room while you recorded it.
Yeah.
That's a very harsh reality. You sign up to a label. You sit down with an acoustic and video record yourself singing something. Well, now they own 50% of it in some cases.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, and so that right there is degrading to any artist for sure.
Right on. So how did you team up with Shallow Side for the Rebels and Renegades tour?
I think it was just a thing through our management, Arden, or not our management, I should say our booking agency. We wanted to tour really bad. We knew they're a good band. They had some stuff going on at the moment too, and they did a cover of that Renegade.
Oh yeah.
And we figured their style, the stanky rock and roll kind of matched a little bit,
Middle finger in the air.
Yeah, so it just kind of worked out that way.
It's a perfect combination.
I do too.
I
This is gonna
enjoy
be
it.
an awesome night.
Yeah, yeah,
It really is.
No, they're a solid group. We enjoy touring with them. They keep us on our game and vice versa. So,
I can only imagine.
yeah.
So you played on many different stages over the years. Do you prefer the intensity of a festival or the up close vibe you get from a venue like this?
Well, I can't answer that with there's no 100% on that.
That's
Right?
another pros and cons on
It really is. I mean, of course, when you out and you grind for so long and this and that, you want to be playing the bigger stages in front of all the people and stuff. And on a business side, you're never going to reach that many people in a club situation. It would take you a year of touring to reach that many clubs.
Right.
So for the business aspect, I would prefer to be at festivals where 20,000 people may hear us that day and maybe 10,000 of them like us on Facebook or something. Those kind of things. But the heartfelt musician in me that grew up playing in VFWs and crappy bars all over the place, and yeah, I like it when a club's packed with 150 people and everybody's feeling it so hard and everybody's there for the same reason.
Right.
There's something powerful about that definitely kind of trumps what happens when you're so separated in the,
And in the smaller venues, they came to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the other 20 that are on the bill.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a connection there,
Yeah.
and you feel like
They're the ones
family.
that sing back to you.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. So, do you feel that your songwriting has grown over the years? And do you have a special recipe for songwriting?
I don't know if it's grown over yes and no. A lot of this album was actually written about 4 or 5 years ago. So I don't know if it's grown, but I guess it's grown a little bit. And that in the period when the album was written, absolutely. Yeah, it's grown. It's grown because we wrote the songs. Me and Dawson put the songs together, most of them anyway, and put them together back in the day. And then when we went to redo the album, we definitely fluffed it up and added here and there and did things to it. And that was all, that's all product of continuing to write and learning things that we like about what we want to put out there. So, yeah, and it has to. I think it really, really has to, because if it don't, people get bored with it.
Absolutely.
They just get bored with it. And if you're not real and vulnerable, I don't think they're going to care if they're real music lovers,
When you're writing, do you know right off, man, this is going to be a hit? This is going to make it.
It's hard because when you're writing, okay, now I don't have any kids, and I don't mean to offend any parents anywhere when I say that pretty much every parent I've ever met thinks their kid is special.
Right?
Very much a similar thing with music and
agree.
writing. I mean, when you're writing something, unless you're just not into it, in which case you won't continue to write it, you think it's going to be the shit. But yeah, for the most part, there were a couple that whenever they were getting put together, like World Gone Mad. I don't know, I wouldn't say hit because what is a hit? It's whatever people get into. But something I feel like people will connect to, like I did when I was a kid, going, oh my God, I want to be part of that situation in someone's life. Like when I was a kid riding down the road, my first band was in Indiana. When I was my first touring musician band, so it was 4 hours one-way drive, and it was Slipknot, Dream Theater, and Mudvayne.
Shit.
And those guys made me, not to sound crazy, but sometimes if I was deep in it, I'd tear up screaming that stuff riding down the road, so
chills.
those kind of things, that's the part of it we wanted to, that I've always wanted to be as a songwriter. And so World Gone Mad came together in 3 days. While we was tracking the album, I just kept hearing it. It's like, man.
Yeah.
So I just sat downstairs and started putting it in my head. I thought, man, if people really give this a real shot, people will like it.
Right.
But again, you always feel that way about your tunes, If anything, there's songs you feel like won't be anything, and those are the ones people connect to the most sometimes.
What the fuck?
Yes. Look, things are tough on our album. I didn't know that it was even going to make it. For me, it was always a B-lister. I was like, I don't know, yeah, you know. But everybody dug it, so we threw it on there. And we get all these messages like, you guys going to play Things Are Tough? No. But dang, you know, yeah, you know. And, I mean, you're glad they like them, but you just sometimes it surprises you.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What is your favorite song to perform live?
Ooh, dang.
What gets you pumped up? Which song you're like, shit, yeah? You look down at the set list and you go, it's next.
Is My Last Words on the set list?
No. I wish
now.
that was one of them, believe me.
I honestly think that's probably my favorite.
Thank you. That was one of those that happened
Did it?
5 minutes. Yeah, it just.
I have to listen to it at least once a day.
Awesome.
I'm going to work with earphones in for 8 hours.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love that.
Because it's truth. You feel that, right?
Yes.
Favorite song to perform? Shoot, man. I guess in our current set list right now, it would either be Manifesto or probably Through the Rain, because the dynamic of that song really does something live.
Right.
I mean, it has its thing and then it gets dropped way down and then it goes back up. And when that happens, I feel like something happens in the room.
Right on.
And I like when things happen in the room. So I would say Through the Rain was probably my best, happiest.
Good stuff. Do you have any pre-show superstitions or routines that you go through before a show?
Okay, so I used to. I do that, which I guess I won't say that. No, I used to. There was a time when I always stretch. That's about it. I used to have this thing where I'd sit outside and play guitar for an hour and a half and just warm up because I didn't want to be this or that. And then we went through this period of time where Tony our singer had pneumonia, and I sang for about 2 weeks. And I found that pretty much doing nothing but just stretching out a little bit and going up there with good intentions was my best. I felt the most natural. So anymore, no, don't do anything. Just enjoy doing it.
The pneumonia, that was just recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just got Tony back a few days ago, past Friday, yeah.
I was thinking that was pretty recent.
It was very recent. Oh, we did not see that coming. You know what I mean? He had bronchitis, and then he was like, guys, I'll be back, you know, this day. And then he heard something was like, so, what's the doctor? I got acute pneumonia. It's like, whoa!
Yeah, that shit does not go away
No.
either, and you've got to get it treated.
Yeah.
How would your family members describe Seasons After?
Ooh. Well,
But then I clicked on the picture, I was like, oh, James.
that's a weird one. I only got a couple family members. And the one is 90 years old, but he still plays 3 nights a week.
Really?
Oh, he is no joke, buddy. He's no joke.
Smoking.
He shows up with an acoustic and tears it down.
Hell yeah.
They're very happy about it.
That's good stuff.
They used to give me crap because they couldn't understand all the words,
Yeah.
but you know that's going to happen. But no, they're very proud of it. My family's always been musically inclined. My grandpa,
That's
like I said,
awesome.
still plays. My uncle toured with Aerosmith and David Matthews Band. He's been a world traveler. He's a one-man show and songwriter.
So
And
you've always known that music is what you
This
wanted
is
to
all
do. I
I've
was gonna
ever-
ask what made you decide that, but
I don't think I had a choice. I really
Into
don't.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this, I mean, that led right into this. What would you be doing if you weren't in the music industry?
Well, if I had my choice of anything, or in my real life, if I wasn't playing music, what would I be doing right now if I were home?
Yes.
I am a sheetrock hanger. I hang sheetrock, I tape it, and I paint it. It's the business that my dad had when I grew up, you know,
Right
so
on. Nothing wrong with that.
play
That's
music
good
and do
business.
draw. Yeah,
It really is.
It's good. It's hard on the back, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, our son does HVAC work. He installs HVAC.
yeah.
So he
rough.
goes in there right before the sheet rock
Yep,
go in.
yep.
And then right after.
Mm-hmm.
He loves it. He loves doing it. Okay.
You find something you're happy with, you just stick with that. That's one thing this journey's taught me. Like, lost a couple houses, lost trucks, lost some stuff staying out here, trying to maintain it on that independent level.
Yep.
But the idea, me and my singer talk about this every once in a while. You know how every once in a while you can, in your head, you can go somewhere and in a situation, you can actually see yourself sitting there and feel what you would feel in that situation. Say you think about someone passing that you love a lot, you know,
Yeah.
it hits you
Yeah.
for a second. When we really put it to thought that the idea of taking the last ride home, like this thing shutting down that we've been in for so long, it relights every single fire throughout the heart, because it's like, no, fuck that.
Yep.
No way. You know what I mean? You just can't do that. Even though you can't buy a car, we can't buy this, you can't do this either if you can't live that much. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. It'd be like taking air away, I think. So, yeah.
And that's awesome, because that means that you're not going to just say, "Oh, okay, we've had enough."
No.
And you're not in it for the
right reason.
Yeah, you're not in it for the fame, the money, because there is no money anymore.
No, there is no money
I know
anymore.
you know that. And it's just not there anymore. The music industry in the last 20 years is just totally different than what it used to be. Unless you're like Nickelback.
Exactly. Unless you're already installed. Yeah, I feel like it's
willing to sell out.
and willing to sell out.
Then
Well, yeah. The industry is looking for a bunch of 20-year-old kids that are too hungry to see the truth.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, we've seen it a lot. And there's no offense to those kids. Good for them, you know what I mean? Go out there and get it. But dang. They're like, the trust fund kids are the enemy now. I hate running into bands that are like, well, my dad put up 60 grand so we could. And this is my first drum kit. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's your what? So take it home and practice.
Yeah.
Understand what you're doing out here,
Right.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there, though. Good for anybody who wants to take a swing, but
So basically, thinking about what would happen if it all shut down is what keeps you motivated and going and on the road.
At this point, this deep and where we're sitting at, yeah, the idea of actually stopping after this long with this much invested, without seeing a return that we feel is substantial to something, cannot shut the train down yet.
Good.
There's just
That's
still
exciting.
shit out there to be gone.
I feel like we've barely scratched the market of what we're capable of under the right position. I mean, I really do. I
agree with you.
I believe if we were in a position or in a bubble that would take us across the ocean and stick us in Europe and put us on a couple of these shows and festivals, I believe those people would eat us up. I don't want to say it for sure, but I believe they would. I think. Well, I feel like the U.S. is almost a waste of time for anybody who has a product worth something. They need to go build it somewhere else and bring it here with this backing. Like, hey, these people love it, because to build it here, you have to sell out. Right. You have to sell out to build it here. You got to get up. Most of the bands that are, I just read a thing about Adelita's Way, that they've broken free and they're doing their own thing and they're feeling like they are seeing more success on a personal level. They have. You almost have to sign that death warrant with the label, let them drag you through hell and blow you up, have them singles on the radio to where the world knows your name. Then when you break free finally, you still have all these people who know who you are. Whereas in our situation, we got out there and we got the one song and we got just the tip. And we were like, you get that out of there. And we spent 3 years yanking the rest back out. So, but yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
Well, I am very proud of you guys, and I support you 100%. Every time I think of you guys, it's just like they're doing it the way it probably should be done. I mean, they do it on their own terms.
Yeah.
And I knew that from 3 years ago from the Hidden Castle, talking to Tony and all that. It was just like, no, we do this ourselves. We don't answer to anybody.
No.
We just, it's ours. We own it. Just like you said, that we own our babies.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nobody can take it from us. And
nope.
Holy crap. Boy, the first album, we still don't own that.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Exactly.
Yeah, we can't sell it. We're not allowed to sell it.
Yep.
We're not allowed to sell 1111 to someone. We don't own it. How harsh is that? To any aspiring musician listening to this, just because a label tells you and gives you, don't sign the first contract they hand you, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not.
Well, that's all I've got. Thank you very much.
No, it was a pleasure.
Looking forward to the show tonight. And real excited. Looks like we're just in time.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I truly appreciate it.